Did you ever use Zowie mice even during CS days? Yes, actually, my two favorite mice. Actually, my one of my favorite mice in terms of shape, the S2. I use the S2 like religiously. I love that mouse. And the only mouse that did replace the S2 for me was the XM1, but it was just because the XM1 had a braided cable and it was lighter. Those are the only two reasons I switched to it. I actually did prefer the S2 shape more, and I would say like the S2 shape for me was like kind of peak. I really liked it a lot, especially for claw grip. It was one of the best claw grip mice. But unfortunately I think Zowie were really slow with just like their mice production and stuff. I think other companies were just speeding up ahead of them. But for monitors, I think Zowie's undoubtedly the best for FPS games. I got to experience like the 540 hertz monitors, like the new monitors, and they had it's crazy how good they just keep making monitors. You know how like the TN panels, to anybody that owns like a Zowie monitor and you have like a TN panel, right? The colors are always like very dull. And I mean, colors doesn't really matter for competitive players. And when you're competing, you just want the fastest thing. You don't really want the best looking thing. Same reason why everyone just switches to low graphics when they're competing is you're not trying to get the most beautiful gameplay. You're trying to get the most FPS possible. So you just have the most consistent FPS and you have a consistent gaming experience. So it's kind of like that stuff. But the new TN panels that they have on the 540 hertz are actually pretty insane. Like they look pretty similar to an IPS panel. And that was like the only downside of like a TN panel. Maybe if you're playing like fucking Baldur's Gate or something like that, then you would prefer an IPS panel because it would just look more beautiful. And like the game, you don't need 240 like hertz running the game. Like you don't need every single like millisecond for a turn-based game that's like mainly based on story, exploring, and like stuff like that. So for like that experience, IPS panels normally win, but for any like competitive esport, then TN panels are always just better.